Welcome to New Possibilities. I speak truth to power without fear. A couple of days ago, I saw Beyonce's video Formation, and I saw her performance during the Super Bowl. Both her video and her performance have generated a lot of discussion. And I just want to take some time to just share my views about the situation, share my thoughts, and I look forward to your feedback. First of all, I'll say this. The imagery in Beyonce's video Formation is powerful, compelling, and undeniable. It has powerful images that point to the situations of Trayvon Martin, the situation involving Michael Brown. She has a scene where there's a young boy, a young black boy with a hoodie on, dancing in front of a line of police. We all remember the story of Trayvon Martin, the tragic story of this brother Trayvon Martin, a brother who was hunted down and killed like an animal, who was viewed as being suspicious because he had on a hoodie. And the killer walked free. The killer continues to taunt Trayvon Martin's family with insensitive tweets. And this killer has proven himself to be the real thug. He's been involved in multiple altercations, multiple run-ins with the police since the tragic death of Trayvon Martin in 2012. Trayvon Martin would have been 21 years old today if that pig, George Zimmerman, didn't take that brother's life. So in Beyonce's video, she features a little boy with a hood, and it's an obvious nod to Trayvon Martin. And also, in the video, she features the police, and they have their hands up at one point in the video, and then there's graffiti that reads, "Stop shooting us." Now, the hands up gesture is obviously a nod to Michael Brown. According to many witnesses, the brother had his hands up when he was shot by the police. So she makes a powerful statement about Trayvon Martin and Michael Brown, the whole situation in Ferguson. Also, her video features a nod to Katrina, the Hurricane Katrina, that whole situation where black people were treated like third world citizens. We didn't receive care from the government while people were drowning in the floods caused by Katrina. The president at the time, George Bush, flew over the scene in a plane looking down upon the people as they were dying in the streets of New Orleans. And the government's response was lackluster, to say the least. So this video was obviously a statement about Katrina. In her song, there's actual references to Black pride, references to African features. And I have to respect that. I respect that aspect of her song, her statements about Black pride. And even though the overall lyrics of the song have nothing to do with police brutality or racism, the imagery in the video is powerful. And for that reason, I support it. I support the fact that this woman has been able to generate a discussion around important issues, police brutality, racism, things of that nature. So for that reason alone, I have to give her respect. This situation kind of reminds me of Marvin Gaye singing about what's going on. Marvin Gaye singing about inner city blues and war and environmental racism. It kind of reminds me of that. But those songs that Marvin Gaye sung about, the actual lyrics were political. But That's not the case in Beyonce's song, but the imagery in the video and the imagery in her performance during the Super Bowl, those images are powerful. And those images can't be negated or brushed aside. They should be celebrated instead of hated on. Often people say they want these celebrities to speak out. And when they do speak out, they are condemned for doing so. Not only are they condemned by white racist people like Giuliani and Peter King, they're condemned by their own people. See, some of us have been like programmed to hate upon our own. We've been programmed to tear each other down, to disrespect each other. So even when a black person does something good, when they do something noteworthy, it seems like the natural impulse is to try to tear them down. Just like they tried to tear Jada Pinkett Smith down when she spoke out against racism and the Oscars. They said, well, why don't you speak out against police brutality? They always nitpick and find some kind of reason to tear down their own black people. Now you had his sister, Beyonce, speaking out boldly with the imagery in her videos and her performances. She's talking about police brutality, but yet these people, the same people that criticize Jada Pinkett Smith for not speaking out against police brutality, are the same people who are condemning Beyonce for speaking out against police brutality. You know it's odd when you end up being on the same side as people like Giuliani and Peter King. These people want to condemn her because she spoke out against the brutality that our people face. The brutality. And I'm not surprised. I mean, somebody like Giuliani, who was mayor of New York City at a time when the police brutalized black people, when you had Amadou Diallo shot multiple times by the police, when you had Abner Louima, a Haitian immigrant, sodomized by police, when you had such racial tension in the city, and you had a mayor who defended racist cops. So I'm not surprised that he would speak out against Beyonce. I'm not surprised that somebody like Peter King would speak out against her. Because these people defend the system. They defend the cops that brutalize our people and kill our people and harass our people and profile our people. New York City is a city that's known for stopping and frisking innocent black people in the street, profiling innocent black people. So it's no surprise that a Giuliani or Peter King would defend the police. And I'm sure Beyonce is not condemning all police or anything like that. If you just watch the video, she's talking about police brutality. She's tapping into a sentiment that is popular among the people right now. A sentiment that demands justice for our people. A sentiment that speaks out against the brutality that's being inflicted upon our people. A sentiment that is telling the world that Black lives matter in the face of this brutality. So I just want to say that I support this sister's video. I support her performance during the Super Bowl. I stand with her in the fight against police brutality. And I hope that the sister uses her money and her resources to finance the Black Lives Matter movement and other movements against police brutality. In her performance during the Super Bowl, her dancers had outfits on similar to the Black Panthers. They had naturals, they had afro type of hairstyles, and they wore berets in black. She shouldn't be condemned for doing that. The Black Panthers were soldiers in our fight for liberation. They didn't talk a good game like all these internet personalities. They were on the front lines. They didn't just talk against police brutality. They confronted those police face to face, gun to gun. They didn't talk about self-defense. They actually got in those streets and defended themselves. So I have to respect the sister for paying homage to the Black Panthers. And not those fake new Black Panthers, the real Black Panthers. The Black Panthers founded by Huey Newton and Bobby Seale. So much respect, Beyonce. Keep doing your thing. Keep speaking out about issues of relevance. Peace.